Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a video I didn't really want to have to do, but this just literally came out not too long ago, and it's a little disturbing. Before I get into it though, I'd like to welcome you all. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you enjoy the video. I like doing news videos a lot of times, but this one I don't really like to do, that I won't like having to do, but I gotta talk about it. And hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, hit like and subscribe. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's get into this. Now, we know the situation that's been going on with the Philadelphia Flyers draft pick, Ivan Fedotov, and how basically it literally seems like he basically has been kidnapped by his own government. And because they have a whole thing over there where, you have to do 2 years of military service. And now there's ways around. Now, obviously, I've seen there's ways around that. I've heard that there's ways around that. That a lot of times you basically, if you bribe the government basically over there, you can get out. Now, Kirill Kaprizov, star player for the Minnesota Wild, star player for us, signed a nice 5-year, $45 million contract. But during the offseason, he goes back home. And, because his family's there, everybody's there. So he goes back to Russia in the offseason. Well, apparently, there have been conflicting reports that, before the whole Fedotov thing happened, he had went and came back here and came back to the States. Apparently that is not true, because in the article that I found here on The Athletic, and I know it's in a few other places, from Michael Russo, who is a Minnesota Wild beat writer, basically. He has confirmed with general manager Bill Guerin that Kaprizov has not come back yet. And they are currently trying to get a handle on the situation right now, that apparently he is wanted in Russia for some fake military ID thing. And apparently the Russian government is after him for it. Now, I'm hearing reports of what's going on with Ivan Fedotov and potentially Kaprizov and, basically any other Russian player that plays in the NHL. If I were them, I wouldn't go back there. The crappy thing is this really honestly feels like it was back when the Iron Curtain was up. I grew up through about the last 10 plus years of the Soviet Union, and I had heard, and we had learned in school what this country was about. The 1980 Miracle on Ice team, that Soviet team, I mean, imagine if they could have actually come over and played in the NHL. Some of them did. Some of them were widely successful. Some of them not so much. But Russia does not like losing their players to North America. They don't like their players coming over here and making millions of dollars. It literally is like the Iron Curtain's back up again. They, I mean, this is a country that even when the Soviet Union dissolved, they've never been free. They've never had the freedom to just, be able to grab their families up and leave. They've always had to go through all kinds of hoops. And now that that the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine going on, this is just it's amplified. This is literally amplified. And now basically they are doing, I mean, if you're a professional athlete, if you have played in the KHL, whether or not you have an NHL contract or not, doesn't seem to matter. If you go back home, you're doing it at your own risk. You're basically doing it at risk of being taken, and Lord knows what's happening. And basically, you're risking being, just grabbed and thrown into their military. Where, I mean, really, these guys aren't military people. They've never been in the service. They don't know they've never been trained to be in the military. What the hell do professional hockey players know about that? What does somebody like friggin' Ivan Fedotov know about being thrown in the Russian Navy when he's like 6'6"? How's that going to work? You going to throw him in a submarine? How's that going to work when he's 6'6"? Kirill Kaprizov. The hell does he know about being in the military? This is such a horror. It's not a good situation. And yeah, Wild general manager Bill Guerin told The Athletic that Kaprizov is still in Russia, contrary to reports that he had fled for the United States. Now, this obviously is going back. I mean, when Evgeny Malkin came over, Evgeny Malkin literally defected from Russia. Defected. He grabbed his family from everything that I had seen or whatever. He grabbed his whole family and out. Or he got out first. Or he got out first, and then he was able to get his family out. Now, a lot of these guys, they don't have that. They're not able to do that. Obviously, if Fedotov came over here, his family's still over there. Kaprizov comes back over here, or comes over here. His parents and his extended family is still over there. I mean, if they're trying to get to you, they've got a way to get to you. And that's why I say this is very similar to how the Iron Curtain was like, and when the Berlin Wall was up, when you have half of Europe controlled by the West and the other half controlled by communist Russia. If somebody defects, they can go grab your family, hold them, and blackmail you, do whatever they can. And it's this whole thing going on with Fedotov and now Kaprizov, and basically any other Russian player that has gone back home during the off season. This is not good. This is not good at all, because they all could potentially be rounded up, thrown into the back of a truck, and just thrown into their military for a year, 2 years, whatever it is. These guys don't know what they have no military experience. They have none of that. They'd be like taking me, who I've never been in the military. I don't know. I've never been to boot camp. I've never done any of that. They'd be like, throwing me in the back of a truck and sticking me and sticking me over in like Iraq or Afghanistan. No. I wouldn't last long. I guarantee that. And again, these are professional hockey players. And it's amazing that we're seeing basically what happens when you are a really good Russian hockey player and you want to come over here. We're seeing now what the Russian government will do. They will do whatever they can to keep you. They do not like their players coming over here and playing and making millions of dollars. And it doesn't help when, I don't know what you would, I don't know what you would want him to do or what he could really say, but Alex Ovechkin is one of the most high-profiled Russian hockey players, and he's been asked about all this, and he's been like, "What do you want me to say? What can I do about it? I can't. He can't do anything about it." And that's the problem. Just speaking up against this government over there can literally get you disappeared. It literally is like this is the old Soviet Union again. And it's not good. These guys, they are not free. A lot of the players, I saw what the Detroit Red Wings had to do. I've seen the whole story about the great Russian players that all literally, they had to basically sneak onto a plane to get them over here. Igor Larionov, Slava Fetisov, Sergei Fedorov. Tremendous Russian hockey players. Vlad Konstantinov. These guys, they literally had to sneak them out of the country. And the sad thing is here is there's nothing the NHL can do. What can the NHL do? What can the Philadelphia Flyers do? What could the Minnesota Wild do to get these guys out of Russia? There's nothing they can do. And that's the sad thing. Kaprizov, such a skilled player. So skilled. Just probably arguably the best player that we have ever had in our organization as the Minnesota Wild. He won the Calder Trophy. He just set a points record, a goals and points record for the Wild in his second season here. And now I don't know if Minnesota's ever going to see him again. I don't know. It's a scary thing. And knowing that Kaprizov and Fedotov were teammates. And it's reported here that Kaprizov and Pavel Karnikov, if I'm butchering that name, I apologize. But apparently they are suspected of buying military IDs back in 2017. 5 years ago? You're doing this from 5 years ago? And it says here Kaprizov's father denied that his son ever bought a military ID and said that Kaprizov is a student of the Russian Presidential Academy of National Economy and Public Administration, or RENEPA. It is common for Russian professional athletes to study from afar as a means of delaying their military obligations. So, and it's just, oh man, this whole thing is just crazy. And yeah, it's, and it says Kaprizov's exemption expired June 30th, according to one source familiar with the situation. If that's true, regardless of the accusation that he bought a military ID 5 years ago, Kaprizov could be required to fulfill his military obligations. In Russia, men must serve in the military for 1 year between the ages of 18 and 27. Kaprizov's 25. So, I don't know. But it's interesting because he played for CSKA Moscow, which is considered the Red Army team. He played with them for 3 years. Normally, if you're a member of CSKA Moscow, that basically is like your military service in Russia. Because it says typically CSKA Moscow players have been exempt from military service in the past. That might be an informal rule, though, because technically you're playing for what was known as the Red Army team in communist times. So, and it says you're in the army, but your job is to play hockey. One Russian source said somebody's job is to drive a tank, and your job is to hold a stick. So, right there, if you're playing for CSKA Moscow, you're playing for what was the Red Army team. That's the military. He shouldn't have to worry about any military service. He played there for 3 seasons. So why would Kaprizov have to go back and be in the military again? It's just it's insane. And and it says here, Kaprizov is a decorated Russian player who twice led the KHL in goal scoring, won a league championship, captained the 2017 World Junior Championship team, scored the golden goal in the 2018 Winter Olympics. When he was pressured to re-sign with CSKA Moscow and not sign with the Wild 4 years ago, he did just that. He's been photographed many times shaking hands with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And then, of course, it shows a picture here of the two of them together. And yeah, it says he did everything they asked, said a source with many Russian players. That's why he stayed so long without coming to the States, because they asked him to do it. Official people asked him to do it. So that's why he stayed. That's why he didn't come over here. That's why he didn't come over here when he was 21 years old. He stayed there because, again, he thought they asked him to do it. So he did it. And it said, asked how concerned he is that Kaprizov could be forced to remain in Russia, a source knowledgeable of the goings-on in Russia said, he's not unless it's coming straight from the top, and you know who I mean. We all know basically who he's talking about. He's talking about Vladimir Putin, the president, the Russian president, or Russian dictator, whatever you want to call him. Scumbag. I'd call him a scumbag, honestly. Whatever term you want to call him, go ahead and call him whatever you want. But it says if it's coming from the person Putin, and he says Kirill's not going anywhere, then he's not going anywhere. The source said, unless it's coming from that one person. Everybody else is going to be okay. Only one person can make him stay, not nobody else. Again, it's weird. But why now? Why all of a sudden? Is it just because of the whole conflict in Ukraine? Why now are they holding Ivan Fedotov? Why now are they potentially going to hold Kirill Kaprizov? Why now? I don't get it. I don't know. But this is not a good situation. Definitely not a good situation. And it even said here, Russian NHL stars travel home. Will they all be back? I don't know. Work visa complications in the war in Ukraine have created anxiety. The players will face obstacles trying to return to North America. Yeah, that's the thing. This is obviously this is an ongoing situation, and I will try to, as I will try to follow this, and keep y'all abreast of what's going on, if these guys are going to be able to come back, if they can come back. Hopefully, I'll know more maybe in the next few days, weeks. But this is some scary stuff. This is some really, really scary stuff. And it's crazy. And hopefully this is able to end soon. But I don't know. But yeah, I'll keep this story going, or I'll keep it, keep abreast of it, and I'll try to keep y'all informed as best I can. So and that's basically all. That's basically all I've got right now for this, and scary stuff. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think these Russian athletes, are they going to be able to come back to North America? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. And if you're new, hit like and subscribe. Talk to you guys again soon.